Hello everyone, it's me again, Liam, and today I'll be making my predictions for D23. Let's start off with their anime movies, Disney's anime movies. I know Zootopia 2 is going to get some story details, so I feel like Zootopia 2 should be... I have to include Zootopia 2. Like, for example, I could imagine them revealing some new locations and, like, what the story will be about. I could imagine them doing that. I would hope to see like a new trailer and maybe give us what the tone might be. Like, will it be darker than the first movie? I don't know. And maybe they could reveal who the villain is. As for Frozen 3, they can reveal some story details. I would be interested. Personally, Frozen isn't my favorite movie. It's not my favorite movie. It's not my favorite. All because of the whole let it go song. I can't stand that song. No wonder why I prefer the other films from the 3D era, like Big Hero 6, for example, even Wreck-It Ralph, and Zootopia. But for my idea for Frozen 3, I think they should like bring in a relative of Prince Hans as the villain. Because that way it would all come full circle. I know there have been theories about Prince Hans returning in Frozen 3, which, well, not the worst idea. I feel like it would kind of ruin his defeat at the end of the first Frozen movie. I feel like that would just make his defeat at the end of the first movie pointless. Like, look what they did with the Return of Jafar. They brought Jafar back and made his defeat at the end of the first Lion movie pointless. God, I hate the Return of Jafar. The animation was just so bad. The animation was just so bad. It was awful. It was the worst animation, along with the animation, the Beauty and the Beast sequels during the 90s. Why did the animation in Aladdin go from great to awful? I haven't seen King of Thieves. I'm gonna watch King of Thieves soon. Now, let me look at Frozen 3. I think they could also give Elsa a love interest, and they have been like, ooh, Elsa's gonna have a girlfriend. Well, I hate to say it, but I think because of how different the world was back then, they probably won't do that. And even Elsa's actress, Inda Menzel, was married to Taye Diggs. And he was a guy, so yeah, that may not happen. And some are saying Honey Mary for Frozen 2 may become her love interest, which I'm like, huh. But then again, I don't know if this will happen. It may not because may not give Elsa a girlfriend because of how different the world was back then. And of course they're also making a fourth one. I'm not sure if Frozen 3 is gonna be like a two-part film or Frozen 4 is gonna be a prequel. I don't know. They haven't announced a release date yet. They might release a release date for that. They could also show us that Disney movie that's being set in India. They could show us the first look at that in the title. Now to Pixar. I feel like we could get an announcement for Inside Out 3 because, I mean, look at Inside Out 2. It's become the highest grossing anime movie of all time. It overthrew the 2019 remake of The Lion King as the highest grossing anime movie of all time. And, well, it's become the highest grossing Pixar film of all time. But it's almost close to being the Lion King remake. needs to. Because I did not like the remake of The Lion King. I did not. I've seen some of it, and I didn't like it. From what I've seen, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I'll stop. And because of how successful this movie is, it's no denying that they could announce a third movie at D23. They could release a new trailer for Elio, since that's going to come out in June. It may not be possible, but they could do something for Elio. And maybe they could release the next trailer for during Moana 2. But then again, that's just me. They are also gonna. They think they're also gonna show us the release date for Ducks, and Pixar is gonna make an original movie for March of 2026. So that will be Duck. I'm sure that will be Ducks. I'm sure that will be Ducks. I may not be excited for this one, but I feel like Toy Story 5 is gonna get some story details revealed. I might see Toy Story 5 so I can just see how the series will end. Like, I just think I'm gonna say this. Toy Story definitely should have ended way back after 3. I don't like Toy Story 4 as much as I used to back then, and when I first saw it. Because the more and more I look back at it, the more and more I just don't really like it as much. I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's bad. It has good moments, but then again, I just don't like it as much as the first 3. Nor did I used to. I did not like Lightyear. I thought that was worse than Toy Story 4. That movie was abysmal. I'm sure Toy Story 5 can at least be average if it's not bad, but it might just become another cash grab sequel like Toy Story 4. That was a cash grab. But I'm sure they'll reveal some story details. Now, back in May of 2024, I heard that they were planning on Finding Nemo 3 and Incredibles 3. I already talked about this before, so I feel like by the Disney Expo this August, they might reveal the release dates. Like, I seriously don't want Incredibles 3 to take another 14 years. If it comes out like in 2027 or 2028, that's a decent time gap in between Incredibles 2 and Incredibles 3. I wouldn't be surprised if Finding Nemo 3 comes out first. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Finding Nemo 3 can definitely be about finding Marlin. I think that could work. For Star Wars, I could imagine them revealing like new details for the future movies, like the new Rey movie. Why are they doing a continuation with Rey? I hate the sequels. Mainly 8 and 9. I hate Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Force Awakens is... It's average. It's not the best movie. It's not the worst either, but... The reason why I say it's average is because it's the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters, and that's why I think it's average. That's why I think it's most tolerable out of all the sequels, but still. That was before I realized 8 and 9 were going to be bad. I liked 8 when it first came out, but 9, I didn't like it. But because I didn't hear of all the hate of the sequels, I pretended to like 9, but then 2 years after it came out, I made it clear that I hated 9. And they also might reveal some details about the James Mangold Star Wars movie and the movie that will conclude the Mandoverse. And I heard that Kathleen Kennedy is going to get fired by leave Lucasfilm by October, which I'm like, thank goodness. I cannot stand Kathleen Kennedy. She did more harm than good to Star Wars. I hate her. So maybe the movie will get canceled once she leaves Lucasfilm. I do not know. I don't know. I'm not in charge of Lucasfilm. I don't know what's going to happen. What else? For Marvel, they could show some more details about like the upcoming movies. I thought they were gonna talk about the upcoming movies at the San Diego Comic Con tomorrow. And I heard that today they released the new trailer for Transformers 1, and I'm gonna do a reaction video of that tomorrow. Can't wait. And I think they might talk about like the upcoming shows. For 2025, we're gonna get Daredevil Born Again and Ironheart. I think we might get some details. For 2026, we're getting Vision Quest. I think they might announce like a Young Avengers show for 2027. Midnight Suns. Since I feel like that's been like in the works for a long time, and we haven't got any official details. Like I know there were rumors about that, so hopefully get like some reveal. But then again, it's just my guess. I'm not sure if this is possible. They could announce some thing for Phase 7. They could. And say, oh yeah, after Secret Wars, we're going to reboot the MCU. We're going to reboot the MCU after Secret Wars. And Phase 7 is just like a soft reboot of sorts. But I'm like, why? I just make it a hard reboot. Like, I want to pretend that Phase 7 is a hard reboot, and the MCU we've had since 2008 is ending at Secret Wars. Secret Wars. That's what I want to pretend. What else? For the live action films, they might cancel Cruella too. I mean, it's had a troll production. At one point, they were gonna make the sequel similar to Joker, Flowey Dub, which is gonna be like a sequel musical, but because it hasn't gotten updates in a long time, it didn't need a sequel. And while I enjoy the first movie, I did not think it needed a sequel. I didn't think it needed a sequel at all whatsoever. And I've heard something that it might come out in 2025, but. And they also might start shooting this movie sooner than later, but. I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard movie to make. It's being hard. But what about Jungle Cruise 2? Ooh, Jungle Cruise 2. Hmm. We haven't got any updates of that since October of 2022, so that's tricky to say. A sequel to the Aladdin remake, I knew they were planning on that. I knew they were going to plan on making a sequel, but because has it been like getting the biggest updates. And even Mena Massoud, the actor who played Aladdin, said that he is not sure if the sequel will be made. And he even said about the Little Mermaid remake not making as much money as Aladdin, which half his prediction ended up being right. And because of the backlash he received, that resulted in him getting his Twitter account deleted. And it is speculated that his words may have caused some frustration from his frustrations over the struggle of Disney developing the sequel. While I tolerated the remake, I did not think it needed a sequel. And I heard that if they were gonna make a sequel, it would not be an adaptation of the movies The Return of Jafar or King of Thieves, but could borrow elements from them. which I'm like, yeah, skip Aladdin, the Return to Jafar. I hate the Return to Jafar, but the remake could always just try to do it better. I don't know because they're like, but because there haven't been any updates since like December of last year, I have no idea. I have no idea whether they're gonna make it or not. They might cancel it. And we haven't gotten updates about a spin-off movie about Prince Sanders in 2022, so since 2022, so they might cancel it too. And oh no, 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 no. They're gonna reveal the trailer for the Snow White remake, and I'm not excited for it. I'm not excited for it at all because of the actress who's playing Snow White. I do not like her as Snow White, Rachel Zelger, because she hates the original Snow White. I'm like, why, Rachel Zelger? If you hate the original Snow White, why are you in this movie? I don't get it. I'm gonna press dislike first thing when I see it. They're also gonna probably show another trailer for the Mufasa and the Lion King movie. I'm like, no, no, no. This is gonna be worse than the remake itself. And they're gonna say that Mufasa was an orphan cub who became the king of the Pride Lands for some reason, when clearly Taka, who will later grow up to become Scar in the future, was supposed to be next in line. However, he is said to be like a young lion prince. So, because of this, it has me wonder if Mufasa was, like, always the future king, just from another part of the Pride Lands, and he and his biological parents were the king and queen of the Frostlands. Like, no, just no, 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 no. That, why? I think if you switch it to where Mufasa was like the future king of the Pride Lands, whereas Taka was, or Scar was from another part of the Pride Lands and was adopted by the king and queen, that would make more sense because it doesn't make Mufasa's death, sad scene, completely pointless. I feel like because of this, I feel like because Mufasa's gonna be like an orphan cub adopted by Scar's parents, they're going to make his death pointless. That would have also meant Simba stopped Scar all for nothing. Like, wow. Just wow. I'm not excited for it. I'd rather watch Sonic 3 over this. Like, just stop. Stop, Disney. I think we might also get some details about the Hercules remake, the Lilo and Stitch remake, and the Moana remake. But if Snow White and the Mufasa movie are going to fail badly, then they'll get canceled. I just have no doubt in my mind that happens. But that's just all. But these are all my predictions for D23. But there's one more prediction for Pirates of the Caribbean 6. Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. I think they might give us more details about Pirates of the Caribbean 6 and what it will be about, when it will come out. Like, I wanted a release date for the longest time. Like, just reveal it already. But Disney, if you don't care about this movie whatsoever, if you do not care about this movie whatsoever, then cancel it! Like, look back at the marketing of Pirates of the Caribbean Dim and Tell No Tales. It was marketed to be the final movie, but it didn't because it ended on a cliffhanger. So, if you seriously can't make a movie, like a 6 film, then cancel it. Now, I did heard that 2 different movies were in development, the first of which would be a reboot, which Jared Bruckheimer would tend to produce with scriptwriter Jeff Nathanson, but the second would be the Margot Robbie film that was stated to have been canceled, and he stated that he hoped both films would be made, and that would not follow characters from the previous movies. And he hoped Johnny Depp would make an appearance, but come on, Disney. if you do not care about Pirate 6 whatsoever and the future of this franchise, then just stop with it. Just stop with it. Just stop. This franchise should have ended after Deadman at World's End. Like, I mean, I get why Stranger Tides was made, because that's why Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz were married, but then again, they could have always got married without a movie being how they got married, but then again, it's just me. So yeah, Disney, if you don't care about Pirate 6 whatsoever, then cancel it. But that's all I have to say. These are all my predictions for D23 this year. And if you watch this video once D23 rolls around, you may know that some of my predictions are right, and some of them may be wrong. But that's just what I have to say. Anyways, bye.